Hello and welcome to Country Roads Confidential. I am your host, Chris Anderson, publisher of earsports.com, the West Virginia site on the 247sports.com/CBS Sports Paramount Podcast Network. I am joined with a special guest today. No, it's not Mike. It is Jackson Fields, the newest Mountaineer basketball player who recently committed to West Virginia University head coach Ross Hodge. Jackson, how are you today?
Doing well, doing well. Thank you for having me. How you doing?
I am doing great. I appreciate you hopping on. I know fans are excited to hear from you. Um, let's let's kind of go to the beginning. Some of the fans, a lot of the fans that listen to our site or listen to our podcast, read our site, they're familiar with, say, the high school recruiting process where a coach has a recruiting area and he goes to that recruiting area and just talks to whatever good players are in that area. Transfers are obviously different. How does the process begin with a change? Are you reaching out to WVU? Is WVU reaching out to you? How does it work nowadays?
Well, nowadays with NIL stuff, this whole thing, it's best for players to get an agent. So I had an agent, I signed with an agency, and once I entered the portal, they started talking to a few teams and figuring out just of, who really wanted me and who really needed me, not only wanted me, but needed me to be a part of their program. And West Virginia reached out kind of at the start. They were while Hodge was at North Texas, they reached out and he's like, and he just wanted to keep me in the loop. And then when they got when he knew he was going to West Virginia, which was, like he was in a tournament at the NIT. He was talking to me when he was at North Texas, and then we got that job at West Virginia. It just kind of all fell through, and I kind of felt like that was where I wanted to be at home, and I just filtered through all the other schools, and I had a lot of mid majors contact me, a few high majors, but it was really West Virginia that stuck out to me just based on just the support and the system and the culture that they bring from North Texas. So that was really probably one of the main things.
So when he took the job to West Virginia, like you said, he was talking to you as the coach of North Texas to begin with. When he took that job at West Virginia, were you like, "Hey, I might go with him. I might follow him there," or what were you thinking at that time?
Yeah, it was definitely a idea in my head, to go to West Virginia, to follow him and be there with him. Like I said, he was after I think he had already knew he got the West Virginia job when I had gotten the portal, and my agents were like, this might be a good fit, and he just kept in contact, and that's really the main reason why I came, because it was specifically Coach Hodge. A lot of other schools it was the assistants or the associates, but this was mainly Coach Hodge, and I just really respected that and liked that, and that was definitely another point of emphasis on why I needed to come to West Virginia.
And so, did you take a visit up to Morgantown, check things out?
I haven't taken the visit yet. I'm setting my visit up for this upcoming week. I'm trying to come up there this upcoming Wednesday to get in and see the stuff. But it wasn't. I'm not really too focused on what's honestly what's there to do. Out in the city, I'm just there to play basketball and try and win a championship.
Speaking of, given that Ross Hodge is coming there, there's pretty much a whole roster turnover going on at WVU because of that. What kind of role did they talk to you about playing there? And what are you hoping to do once you get there?
The role just coming in, opportunity to come in and compete. They didn't promise me any minutes or any playing time. Just come in there and play tough and be physical and be who you are. And I just think that's what I can come in there and do. And my goal, I would say, or my vision of what I see myself doing is, just playing defense, shooting the ball, getting to the basket, being a vocal leader on and off the court. It's helping my teammates win and doing whatever I need to do for the team to win. That's really my main goal, honestly.
Some of the other guys that have since committed also as transfers. Are you familiar with any of those guys? Floyd, Huff,
Um,
Unobioa, Lorient?
I'm
Do you know any
not
of those guys?
I'm not really familiar with any of them. I don't really know a lot of them. I've seen Huff because they were playing an NIT championship, and I was kind of watching that NIT play out because again, Hodge was at North Texas, so I was watching that to see. But yeah, dang, this coach Randall texts me right now. 1 second.
Are you getting the text from WVU coaches as we're talking right now?
Yeah, Coach Randall just texted me. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Coach Randall, who?
Coach Mike Randall, one of the
Oh, okay,
assistant coaches. Yeah.
gotcha. Um, so let me see. And now I think I don't know this for sure. Nope. I was about to say I was about to ask you about any of your teammates. Have you tried to talk to them or former teammates at Troy? Have you talked to any of them about what they're planning on doing? Anybody you
Yeah,
trying to get to come with you to West Virginia?
yeah, I tried. I was trying to get all of them, honestly. I mean, two of them already made the decision before I committed, and then I was trying to get my teammate Tay, but he is committed to Indiana. He told me late last night he was going to commit there, so he committed, and I was like, dang. But I was like, hopefully we get to play you because I definitely we definitely want that matchup. So yeah, it was fun trash talk, but it was actually a possibility. He was like, oh yeah, West Virginia talking to me. I think about it, and I was like, bro, you go, I'm going. Like, let's get it done last year, but. I think he just had to decide to go elsewhere.
So former teammates and maybe West Virginia's former coach at Indiana.
Mhm.
That could be interesting.
Oh yeah.
So next week is your likely visit, and then when are you enrolling, and what's your plan for the summer?
Say it one more time. You kind of froze up.
I said, when are you enrolling, and what's your plan for the summer?
I'm gonna try and enroll this summer to try and get into summer school. Because I know I'm transferring, trying to get my majors. I meant my credit switched over and figure out a major I can be in. But if not, I'm just gonna go home. I got to move out of here. I'm still in Alabama right now. Move back home to Texas for a little bit and train up in Fort Worth with my agency. Go do a little bit of training before I get up to school in June. I'm pretty sure.
Well, that's something else I guess I think we don't talk about enough in the media and maybe the fans, that when you transfer and all those credits, especially someone like you who is an upperclassman, maybe close to graduating or working
Mhm.
towards a graduate degree, how big of a hassle is that trying to get your transfer credits over?
Yeah, it's definitely a hassle. I've talked to the academics lady already. She said, the business program at West Virginia is kind of particular, but I've looked at some things online and I think my credits might switch over. So I'm trying to keep my credits. But yeah, it's definitely a hassle and a whirlwind because you're trying to figure out, okay, if I can't get this major, then what major can I get? If because I'm not trying to get, a major I can't really do anything in the future with, if I'm being quite honest. So trying to figure out what majors I can in order to help me long term, not just stay eligible.
All right. Well, sounds good, Jackson. I appreciate you hopping on. Like I said, short, sweet. Just want to hear how things went. I know fans are excited to hear from you. Um, Anything else you want to tell West Virginia fans out there before we go?
Just ready to get to work and let's let's win the Big 12 and let everybody know that we're not one to play with. That's all. That's all.
All right. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.